Good evening. This is the environment and ecology class. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the coral reef ecosystems. So first of all, we will note that what do we mean by the coral reefs and what are the coral reef ecosystems, what are their specific characteristics, where they are particularly found, and what are the threats to the coral reef ecosystem, which is, I think, very much important for your examination. Okay, so the topic is coral reef ecosystems. Right, this is the topic which we are going to discuss today. So, in this topic, first of all, we will discuss about the coral reef. That what do we mean by the coral reef? Because that is important. Then we will discuss about the coral, right? So, what is coral reef? Coral reef, right? Let us discuss it. So, as far as the coral reef is concerned, right, I would like to say that coral reef is a underwater structure. Coral reef is an underwater structure built from the skeletons of corals, right? Built from the skeletons of corals. That is known as the coral reef, right? So please bear this in mind that coral reef, what is coral reef? It is a structure. Which type of structure? Underwater structure, right? Built from the skeletons of the corals, right? So now the next point which comes to our mind that what do we mean by the corals, right? So as far as the corals are concerned, right? Corals, coral, which we generally refer to are actually coral polyps, POLYPS. Actually, coral polyps, right? So now, what are the coral polyps, right? So coral polyps are small. Coral polyps are small invertebrate aquatic animals, right? Aquatic animals, we can say, right? So please bear this in mind that this question can be asked to you कि coral क्या होते हैं, right? So corals are animals. Please bear this in mind, right? These are neither plants nor other type of organisms. These are categorized as the animals. Please bear this in mind, right? They are animals, right? So now there are basically two types of the corals, right? So one type of corals is, we can say that those are the soft corals, and the other type of corals are the hard corals, right? One is the soft corals and the other is known as the hard corals, right? So as far as the hard corals are concerned, right, hard corals are those which made hard corals are those which make which make their exoskeleton right of or from the calcium carbonate, from calcium carbonate, right? So that means they protect their body inside the hard shells, right, or hard exoskeleton made of the calcium carbonate, right? They protect themselves or protect their body, right? Protect their body inside the hard shells known as exoskeletons made of calcium carbonate, right? Made of calcium carbonate. That is why they are called the hard corals, right? And the corals which do not live in such type of the shells, those are known as the soft corals, right? So now the important point is that that we can say, right? It is only the hard corals that make coral reefs, right? That make coral reefs, right? So please bear this in mind that there are two types of the corals, as we have discussed earlier in on our previous slide, right? Yes, please. There are two types of corals. One are the soft corals, and the second are the hard corals, right? So please bear this in mind that the soft corals, right, don't make the, you can say, reefs, and it is the hard corals only that make reefs. Okay. You can note the first slide, please. Is it done? Okay. Right. So now we were on this slide that it is only the hard corals that make coral reefs, or that make reefs, we can say, right? We can say simply reefs are also, right? How they make reef, right? Because the exoskeletons made by corals, right? Um, Made by corals, right? We can say attach with the exoskeletons of dead corals, already lying, right? Already lying, right? Dead corals already lying, right? So this way you can say, this way, right? Layers of corals get deposited, right? One over the other, right? And in in many years, right? And in many years, right? A a, a significantly large structure is made, right? Large structure is made, right? Which becomes visible, out of water sometimes, right? And this is how the reefs are built, right? This is how the reefs are built. So please note it, right? So how the corals are built, right? So we can say that one point is that the exoskeletons of the corals attach with the exoskeletons of dead corals already lying there, right? So please bear this in mind, right? So, so the new corals, right, make their exoskeletons, right, over the already lying exoskeletons of the dead corals. Okay. So this way the layers got deposited, right, one over the other, And in many years, a significantly large structure is made, which becomes visible out of the water sometimes. This is how the reefs are built, right? This is how the reefs are built, right? So now the next, right? I'm moving next from this. Actually, coral polyps are soft, you can say sac-like bodies, right? And they extract they extract calcium carbonate from the seawater to make their exoskeletons. Okay, to make their exoskeletons. That's there, right? So these exoskeletons are durable and hard structures, right? Which provide them protection. These exoskeletons are you can say durable and hard structures, right, which provide them protection, right, which provide them protection. So this is what this is about the corals. In brief, we can say that what are the corals, right? So this is there, right? So the next thing is there are, right? So have you noted down all these things? Can I move on to the next slide? Okay. Okay. So now, as far as the species of corals are concerned, right, there are more than 6,000 coral species, right, which live at various depths in water, right? So as I have told you, all species of corals do not make skeletons, right? Do not make skeletons, means hard skeletons. They don't make the hard, skeletons. Okay, so this is clear to you, right? So I have told you that there are more than 6,000 coral species which live at various depths in water, right? But as far as the reef building corals are concerned, right? But reef building corals live at a depth not more than 45 meters, right? At a depth not more than 45 meters, right? So I think this is clear that the reef building corals live in shallow waters, we can say, right? So we will talk about the ideal conditions of the reef building corals also, right? But let me move ahead, right? There is one very important point, very important, you can say, subtopic, right? That is about the symbiotic association of corals, right? So this is an important subtopic, we can say, right? Many times the question is asked about this, right? So symbiotic association of corals, as far as this is concerned, right? One thing is that corals cannot make their own food, right? So this is very much clear, right? So therefore, right, therefore they live in symbiotic relationship. Therefore they live in symbiotic relationship. Just 1 second. Therefore they live in symbiotic relationship with an algae, which is called, right, so zooxanthellae, Zooxanthellae, right? So this is the name of the algae, right? Zooxanthellae, right? With an algae, zooxanthellae. So please bear this in mind. This is an important point here, right? That the corals have a symbiotic relationship with an algae, right? And the name of the algae is this zooxanthellae algae, right? Zooxanthellae, right? So now what is the symbiotic relationship between the two, right? Corals provide protection to this algae, right? They provide shelter to the algae, right? So corals provide protection or shelter to the algae, right? And also provide it necessary, right? Also provide it, we can say, right, necessary, you can say, elements for photosynthesis, right? For photosynthesis, they provided that, right? So this is important, right? For photosynthesis, and in return, in return, right? The algae makes food, right? Makes food means you can say carbon compounds, right? And releases energy, releases oxygen during photosynthesis, during photosynthesis, right? So which are used by the corals for their metabolism and energy purpose, right? For their metabolism and energy purposes, right? So this is the symbiotic association between the corals and the zooxanthellae algae, right? So please bear this in mind that this is the symbiotic association existing between the algae and the corals, right? So this is important to remember, okay? So I think this is clear to you. So what is the symbiotic association? The symbiotic association is that coral provides shelter to the algae, right? And also provided the necessary elements for photosynthesis, right? And in return, the algae makes food, right? Means carbon compounds and releases oxygen during the photosynthesis, right? And both the carbon compounds and oxygen are used by the algae for the purpose of its metabolism and its, you can say, respiration and its energy purpose also, right? So this is the symbiotic relationship between them, right? So now the point is that, right? So the next thing is that the deep sea corals, right? The only the reef building corals, because we are studying the reef building corals here mainly, right? Only the reef building corals, right? Corals who live in, right, hard exoskeletons, right, have this association with algae, right? The deep sea corals don't have such association with the zooxanthellae, right? The deep sea corals don't have such association. Why? Because this algae cannot survive in the you can say deep water conditions, right? This algae cannot survive in the deep water conditions, right? Cannot live in deep water conditions, right? Because there will be the you can say scarcity of the sunlight, right? And in the absence of the sunlight, or if the sunlight is not proper, this algae would not be able to do photosynthesis, and that is why this would not be able to provide right food to the corals. So that is why the deep sea corals, right, you can say don't have such type of association with such type of algae, right? So this is the point there, right? So now the next important point is that what are the ideal conditions for the reef building corals, right? What are the ideal conditions? What are the ideal conditions for the reef building corals? Ideal conditions for the reef building corals. This is also an important point here, right? So as far as the ideal conditions for the reef building corals are concerned, one very important condition for the reef building corals is that there should be shallow water, right? One point is there should be shallow water, right? So the corals can survive only in shallow water. The reef building corals can survive only in shallow water, right? They cannot survive in deep waters. In deep waters. ऐसा क्यों? Because they live on, or they depend on zooxanthellae for their energy needs, right? For their energy needs, right? Energy needs. And in deep waters, the algae would not be able to do photosynthesis properly, right? And therefore corals would not be having right enough food, and they would die of starvation, right? And they would die of starvation. Therefore, this is important to note that corals live in shallow waters only, right? Shallow waters where there should be enough or abundance, you can say, sunlight, right? So that the you can say algae, right, should be able to do the you can say photosynthesis properly, right? And the second most important thing is that ideal range of temperature ideal range of temperature for reef building corals is between 23 degree and 29 degrees Celsius, right? 29 degrees Celsius, right? But no way, right? But anyway, the reef building corals cannot survive in temperature below 18 degrees Celsius, right? In temperature below 18 degrees Celsius, right? So please bear this in mind that the corals are temperature sensitive, okay? Temperature sensitive, and they can live only in a very narrow range of temperature, right? So they are temperature sensitive. Please note it, temperature sensitive, right? And they accept, we can say, right, very narrow range of temperature, very narrow range of temperature for living. Okay, so this is another important condition for the survival of the coral, right? So that is there, right? And the next point is that the next thing is that there should be, you can say, clean water, right? Clean water, because there can be two types of water conditions, right? One is the clean and transparent water. Clean water means transparent water, right? Transparent water. And the second can be the opaque water, right? Opaque water, right? Because under the, you can say, opaque conditions, when the water will be opaque, right? That means there is the, you can say, abundant, that means there are many sediments dissolved in the water, okay? Many sediments in the water, or right, you can say there can be other particles in the water, right? Other particles in the water, right? So now what is there? The, we can say, opacity, right, becomes a barrier to the sunlight. Opacity becomes a barrier to the sunlight, right? And doesn't allow the light to pass, the light to pass, right? So that would affect photosynthesis, right? And therefore photosynthesis, right? And the corals will be affected, right? The corals will be affected. So this is the, please bear this in mind that when there will be opacity in water, right, there can be the problem, right? Corals will not be found in those waters, right, where the waters are not clear, where there is opacity in water, राइट सो बिकॉज फोटोसिंथेसिस के लिए लाइट का पास होना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, और अगर वाटर क्लियर नहीं है तो लाइट का पास होना मुश्किल हो जाएगा, एंड इन दैट कंडीशन जो एल्गी है वो फोटोसिंथेसिस नहीं करेगी या प्रॉपर नहीं कर पाएगी, और उससे क्या होगा, फूड की डेफिशिएंसी हो जाएगी, और अगर फूड की शॉर्टेज होती है तो एल्गी की हेल्थ इफेक्ट होगी, और अल्टीमेटली एल्गी की डेथ भी हो सकती है, राइट? सो दैट इज एल्गी की एंड उसकी जो है कोरल्स की डेथ हो सकती है, राइट? सो दैट इज आल्सो एन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग, राइट? सो द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज दैट corals require the warm and saline water, warm and saline water, right? So warm water we have already discussed, because the coral require water between 23 and 29 degrees Celsius, right? But there are some corals who can tolerate the water, temperature even up to 40 degree also, but they are not the reef building corals, definitely, right? So warm and saline water is required, right? So warm water we have already discussed, right? And as far as the saline water, means salt water, is concerned, right? So so you can say the corals can live in the conditions where the salt to water ratio salt to water ratio is, you can say, ideal for their survival, right? Ideal for their survival, because neither they can survive in too much saline water, right? And nor they can survive in too less saline water, right? So too much saline water, and nor they can survive in too less saline water, right? Too less saline water. So there is some ideal ratio, right? So which is required. So orals can survive only in that, we can say, ideal ratio, right? So basically what happens, right? So in those areas, right, where we can say estuaries do exist, right? In those areas, the corals are not usually found, because in those areas, because of the mixing of the fresh water with the sea water, right, the salinity level comes low, and that is why the corals are not found there, right? So this is the point, right? And next thing is that that there is, you can say, low turbidity, right? Turbidity means that is the movement, right? Movement means up and down of the water, right? So such type of spinning of water, right, where there is too much disturbance, the corals cannot survive there, right? Because that will affect the photosynthesis activity, right? Corals cannot survive, cannot survive in those conditions where there is too much turbidity of water, turbidity in water, right? So this is the point, right? So now that is why, right, corals are, you can say, ideally found, right? Reef building corals are ideally found, you can say, in the tropical areas, right? In the tropical areas. Why? Because in the tropical areas, the two conditions are met. One is the condition of the warm water is met, right? Warm water is met. And second, you can say, condition of the saline water is met, right? Condition of the saline water is met. So that is why most of the reef building corals are found between the tropics, right? Between the tropics means the ideal, right, you can say, distribution of the corals is between 20 degree, right, 20-degree latitude and 28-degree latitude, right? 28-degree latitude. Okay, so this is the ideal, you can say, place where the corals are found on this earth, right? So please note these things, because these are very small facts, but these are quite important for your examination purpose, right? Quite important for your examination purpose. Okay, so we have discussed about this, right? So means for the growth of the corals, what is required? Number one, warm water, right? I'm telling you two three important things. Warm water. Number two, salinity adequate, means little on the higher side, right? Because acidic water में वो नहीं survive कर पाएंगे. And number three, you can say, carbon dioxide concentrations, right, are low, right? So ये तीन important conditions हैं coral के survival के लिए, right? So ये तीन important conditions चाहिए. Okay, so this was about the ideal conditions, right, for the corals, right? So now the next thing is that we will discuss about the characteristics of the coral ecosystem, or the features of the coral ecosystem, right? Characteristics of coral reef ecosystems, right? Coral reef ecosystems, right? So as far as the characteristics of the coral reef ecosystems is concerned, there are some important characteristics. One characteristic is that corals are, right? One important characteristic is that corals are, or coral reef ecosystems are the most productive ecosystems, right, in the world, or on the earth, right? One of the most productive, not most productive, one of the most productive, please. Others are also the highly productive ecosystems are also there. One of the most productive ecosystems in the world. Okay, so please bear this in mind, right? These are highly productive ecosystems, right? So this is there. Okay, so that is why there uh, in the coral reef ecosystems, very high biodiversity is found. Very high biodiversity is found, right? Biodiversity found, found, right? So in the coral ecosystems, you will find vertebrate animals, right? Invertebrates, many type of the, you can say plant species also, right? So a number of, you can say, species or organisms you will find. That is why we can say that very high biodiversity is found, right? And it is due to this region, that corals are said, corals are said, we can say the tropical rainforests of the ocean. Tropical rainforests of the ocean. Why? Because tropical rainforests have very high biodiversity, right? Those are evergreen and they have the very high biodiversity, right? Some are evergreen. They have the very high biodiversity. And that is why you can say the corals are said the tropical rainforests of the oceans. Okay, so this is an important point. Okay, so the next thing is that right, so they occur in shallow waters only, right? They occur in shallow waters only, which are clean, right? They occur in shallow waters only, right, which are clean. Okay, which are clean, you can say, right? which are clean and saline, right? जो clean हो और saline हो और turbidity जहाँ पर कम हो, right? So they live in those conditions only, right? So coral water are cold water corals are also there, but they you can say usually don't form the reefs, though there are some cold water corals also near the Norway, etc., which form the reef there. Okay, so but mainly, normally, right, when we talk about the reef building corals, right, we talk about those corals which corals are found in the tropical areas, right? So this is the important point, right? And as far as there we can say symbiotic relationship is concerned, we have already discussed, right? So characteristics of the coral reef ecosystems, the most important characteristic is that they are one of the most productive ecosystems in the world, and very high biodiversity is found in those areas, right? And corals are said the tropical rainforests of the oceans because of the high biodiversity found in the coral reef ecosystems, right? High biodiversity found in the coral reef ecosystems, right? So now the next thing is that about the types of the coral reefs, right? Because coral, one thing let me tell you that corals are, right, corals are very beautiful, right? Very beautiful, you can say colorful, right? Very beautiful, colorful, you can say coral reefs are very beautiful and colorful structures which we see, right? Very beautiful and colorful, you can say, right? Coral reefs are very beautiful and colorful structures, right, structures. So why this, right? So this is due to the zooxanthellae algae, right, which provide the color to the corals, right? This is due to the uh, zooxanthellae algae, which provide color to the corals, right? So this is why that they are so beautiful in multicolor, right? Sometimes red, blue, green, yellow color structures you may see, right? So this is due to this reason only. Okay, so we have discussed about all these things, right? So now we will discuss about the various types of the coral structures, right? We can say, okay, types of the coral reefs or the coral structures, right? Types of coral reefs, right? Coral reefs. Okay. So as far as the types of the coral reefs are concerned, right, there are three, four main types of the coral reefs, right? So one is known as the, you can say, right, that is the fringing reef. One is that we will discuss about these things, right? And the second is known as the barrier reef, right? And the third is known as the atoll, right? ATOLL. Third is known as the atoll, right? And fourth, we can say those are the patch reefs, right? Patch reefs, that is no less important. These three types of reefs are mainly important: fringing reefs, barrier reefs, atoll, and the patch reefs, right? So now let me share with you the, you can say, photo of these four types of the reefs, right? So that it should become clear to you. Okay, so let me let me show you the photograph, okay, of this, please. So yes, so these are the types of the photos, right? So see, this is basically the continent, right? This is the continent, right? And this is the point where the coral is formed, right? Coral is formed, right? It means on the fringe of the continent, on the fringe of the coastline, right? When the corals are found, right? When the reefs are found, coral reefs are formed, those are called the fringing reef, fringing coral reefs or fringing reefs simply, right? Just on the fringe of the continent or fringe of the coastline, right? And the next thing is that this is the right barrier reef. Barrier reef, what do we mean by the barrier reef? See, uh, entire, right, around the entire, you can say, coast, right, around, right, parallel to the entire coast, or we can say, let me make it more clear to you, right? Let me take it. Let us suppose that this is a coastline, right? So parallel to this coastline, right? So a reef is built. Parallel to this coastline, let's suppose a reef is built, right? So this is there, right? And the gap between the coastline and the reef, right? That is filled with water, right? And a lagoon is formed here, right? So there is a lagoon between this and this, right? So this is called the, you can say, barrier reef, right? And then the atoll, right? Atoll कहाँ होते हैं? Atoll, let's suppose, let me tell you that this is a place in the deep sea, sorry, in the middle of the sea, let's suppose, right? This is a small island, let's suppose, right? Or small, we can say, islet is there, right, in the middle of the sea, right? And now what is there, right? The corals, you can say, are built around this. Corals are, sorry, coral reef is built around this, around the entire zone here, okay, around the entire zone here, coral reef is built, right? And slowly what happens, the coral reef develops, right, upwards, right, and due to the rise of the sea level, right, this we can say, right, this we can say islet becomes submerged into the sea, right, and what remains visible, this type of structure only, and this is known as the atoll, right, atoll. Is it clear to you? Right, so corals are made on the fringe of the coastline, fringing reef. When reefs are made, sorry, reefs are made on the fringe of the coastline, that is the fringing reef. And when reefs are made parallel to the coastline, right, and there is a gap between the coastline and the reef, and in that gap fills the water, which is known as the lagoon, right, so that becomes the barrier reef, right, and when the reef is found, when the reef is formed, right, around some islet or some island, right, in the middle of the ocean, or we can say in the mid of the ocean, right, middle of the ocean. So then with the passage of time, right, so that we can say islet is submerged into the sea, right, or the ocean water, right, and the corals and the coral reef, right, develops and it becomes visible, right, above the water, right, and it rises above the water and becomes visible. So then that type of structure is known as the atoll. Is it clear to you? Tell me please. Okay. Okay, clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, beta. Okay. So now let me move ahead. All right. So we were discussing the point here that there are the four types of reefs, right? Patch reefs are, you can say, reefs which are found right somewhere between the fringing reef and the barrier reef, etc., etc. Small patches of the reefs are found. That is called the patch reef, right? So these are the four types of the coral reefs, right? So please bear this in mind, right? So now the point is that the coral reefs are mainly found between 20-degree latitude and 28-degree latitude, right? So that is the place where the corals are found, right? So now the next important thing is that where are corals found in India, right? This is an important thing. Where are corals found in India, right? Found in India, right? So please note this, right? The corals are found in India, where at some places along the western coast of India, right? At some places, mainly at some places along the western coast of India, okay, western coast of India, right, western coast of India, right. So the place is mainly the, you can say, where the density of the reefs is found, uh, the quite good density, though it is not that much, but still, right, so significant density. So that is, we can say, an area which is called Malvan area. Malvan, right, this is near Goa, right. So ये गोवा के पास है Malvan area. One place is that, right. And the second thing is where the corals are found, right. That is, we can say, the Gulf of Kutch, right. The Gulf of Kutch is also in Gujarat where the coral reefs are found, right. And the third is that is the Gulf of right, Mannar, where the coral reefs are found, right. So Gulf of Mannar, right. Gulf of Mannar kahan hai? Do you know where is it? Hmm? In Gujarat or in southern part of India or in the eastern coast of India, on the eastern coast of India, where it is? Tell me. No idea. Okay, Nishank, tell me. Gulf
सर
of
सर ये शायद पक्का तो नहीं पता सर, तमिलनाडु के पास है शायद।
yes, right. अगर आप अपना मैप देखोगे बेटा, घर जाके मैप जरूर देखना, right. So between India and Sri Lanka there is the Gulf of Mannar, right. So it is found there at the Gulf of Mannar area also, right. Gulf of Mannar, okay. सो प्लीज बेटा ये बहुत स्मॉल थिंग्स हैं, राइट? सो इट मीन्स आप मैप को बहुत ज्यादा नहीं देखते।
सर आई थॉट
मैप,
आशिका वाज आंसरिंग, तो मुझे लगा उसको पता होगा।
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, नहीं
उसकी स्टेट
बेटा,
के पास है ना
अच्छा
सर,
अच्छा
इट इज नियर।
अच्छा, चलो कोई बात नहीं, आप बस लेक्चर में ध्यान रखो, राइट? सो गल्फ ऑफ कच्छ, गल्फ ऑफ मानर, राइट, इट इज फाउंड देयर, एंड देन इट इज फाउंड इन द अंडमान एंड निकोबार, राइट? अंडमान एंड निकोबार and Nicobar Islands, right? And then it is found Lakshadweep, right? Because Lakshadweep are the coral islands. So you know, Lakshadweep are the coral islands, right? So that means these are the areas where the corals are found in India, right? And one more important thing is that all types of coral reefs exist in India, right? All types of coral reefs exist in India, exist in India. Okay, so this is the important point, that all types of coral reef exist in India. Okay, so otherwise there are some other places also, but that is not important, right? Very small places near Kerala, near that Puducherry and Tamil Nadu, on the eastern coast also, right? So that is the place where the corals are found, right? And but those are not important, right? So no need to go in such a huge detail, right? So the next thing is that what is the importance of the coral reefs, right? What is the importance of coral reefs? Uh, Coral reefs, right? So this part is also important, right? So as far as the coral reef is concerned, right? So one very important point about the coral reefs is that is, you can say, coastal protection, right? So it provides a protection to the coastal areas, right? Coastal protection, right? Coastal protection from what? From the sea storms and from the sea waves, right? From sea storms and from sea waves, right? Sea waves, right? So they, you can say, right, discharge a lot of energy of the sea waves and the storms of the sea, right? So when they strike with the corals, because they are very solid structures, you can say coral reefs are solid structures, right? So that is why they discharge their energy, and in this way they remain, right, comparatively less harmful to the coastal areas, right, to the coastlines or coastal areas, right? So that is the point. Okay, so they are the natural barriers that you can see, right? So if there would be no corals, then our coastlines would become more vulnerable to the ocean waves, we can say, right? Then they will become more vulnerable to the ocean waves, right? And you can say it has been noted that during the tsunami, right, which you can say affected India in 2004, right? So some coastlines were protected from severe damage due to the coral reefs there, right? So that is why the very important role of the corals is in the protection, right, of the, you can say, this coastal protection, right? And the second is second important point we can say, okay, okay, good. And the second point we can say, that is the beta source of food. Second point is that is the source of food, right? So as far as the source of food is concerned, because we have already, uh, you can say, discussed that coral reef ecosystems, right? Coral reef ecosystems are very rich in biodiversity, okay, are very rich in biodiversity. We have already discussed it, right? Very rich in biodiversity, right? So that is why they are, right? So we can say they provide a source of food, right? To you can say millions of people, right, who live near the coastlines, right? So they provide a source of food, right? Because you can say there are because many type of right, so many type of algae and other organisms, right, develop on the coral reefs, right, coral reefs, right, and that is why fish are found there, right, and fish, right, are found there which survive on those algae and other organisms, right, found there, right, which survive on the algae and other organisms, right. So that is why, right, commercial fishing, so and at many places they have become an important right, places of commercial fishing, right. So they have become, at many places they have become important places of commercial fishing, right, because the fish population is significant there, right, commercial fishing, because the fish population is found in significant uh, number there, right. So this is the next benefit of this, right, and the next point is that that is the medicinal value, right. So medicinal value also, medicinal value, right. So you can say many, right, so many types of, we can say, right, plants etc, right, grow there, right, and some you can say some plants and other species are found, right, which grow on the corals, plants and other species grow on coral, right, so uh, which have been discovered as, right, which have been discovered as important, right, as important source of medicines, right, source of medicines, we can say, right, particularly right, uh, for the cardiovascular diseases, right, particularly for cardiovascular diseases, means heart diseases, right, cardiovascular diseases means heart diseases, right, that is there, right, ulcers, right, and leukemia etc, ulcers, right, and leukemia etc. So it means right, so corals are important source of medicine also. Yes, and that is blood cancer, it is true, means a number of diseases के लिए इस medicine के source हैं ये, right. So that is why, right, these are known as the medicine chests of the sea, right. That is why corals are known as the medicine chests of the sea, right, medicine chests of the sea, corals are known like that also, right, medicine chests of the sea, right. So and one more important thing you can say, right, the skeletons of the coral, right, the coral skeletons, right, are uh, used for we can say, right, making bone grafting materials, right, bone grafting materials also, right. So these are the importance of the corals for this purpose, right. And the next importance of the corals, that is the tourism, right. So corals are important source of tourism, right, and that is why, right, you can say this is billions of dollars of industry, tourism industry, which is there, right, and it provides uh, right, and it provides, we can say, employment also to, right, thousands of people, right, provides employment also, right, tourism employment and plus then what will be there if there will be tourism, right? If there will be employment, then what will be there? Development of the coastal areas, right? Development of coastal areas also, right? Infrastructure development, economic development, we can say, of the coastal areas also, right? So these are the various, you can say, importances of the corals, right? At this, you can say, point, we can say, right? So now the second thing is that you must have heard about the term coral bleaching, right? Coral bleaching. Have you heard about it? Coral bleaching is an important term, right? So which remain in news quite often. Okay. Coral bleaching, what? Right? Coral bleaching is nothing, right? Change in the color of the corals, right? So sometimes corals become colorless, right? Or they turn pale, right? They turn pale, right? So this condition when the corals, right, lose their color or they turn pale, right? So that condition is known as the coral bleaching, right? That condition is known as the coral bleaching, right? So please bear this in mind, right? So now the reason is that under what conditions this coral bleaching happens, right? So what are the reasons behind the coral bleaching? That is important here, right? What are the reasons behind coral bleaching, right? Behind coral bleaching, right? The reasons behind coral bleaching, right? So beta, it is important to note that, right, so far in the world, right? So coral bleaching events, right? Major coral bleaching events which have been recorded so far, that was in the 1998, right? One coral bleaching event. Then is 2010 second coral bleaching event, and the next was the 2014 to 2017, right? So this, the third was for the very severe coral bleaching event which was seen there, right? So now now the point is that, right, so what is the reason, right, that these coral bleaching events do happen, right? So when the coral bleaching happens, right, so then it is termed as a uh, right, loss of corals, right? Or we can say the loss of corals, or death of corals also, right? Maybe death of corals, right? May lead to death of corals also, right? So that is why you can say this is important to note, right? That coral bleaching, what are the reasons behind the coral bleaching, right? So coral bleaching occurs when the corals become under stress, right? So coral bleaching occurs, right, when corals become under stress, right? Under the stressful conditions, okay, under stressful conditions, corals expel the zooxanthellae, right? Expel the zooxanthellae, right? And you know that the color of the corals was due to this only, because of the zooxanthellae only, right? And when they become under stress, right, so then they expel this zooxanthellae, right, from their shells, right? And then due to that, corals lose their color. So this is one important point, right? So the next thing is that when they expel this, you can say, zooxanthellae, right? So then what happens next, right? So then they, right, uh, right? So then what happens? They may starve, right? They may starve because zooxanthellae was the only source of food for the corals, right? Only source of energy for the corals, right? So if the zooxanthellae is no there, there will be no photosynthesis. There will be no you can say production of the food, right? And if there will be no production of the food, there will be no energy, right? Then the coral may starve, right? So better, this is the reason, right? So now the point is that what causes the stress on the corals, right? Because so far we have discussed that coral bleaching, this is coral bleaching, right? Corals become colorless or they turn pale. That condition is called coral bleaching, right? So coral bleaching may lead to the death of the corals also, right? If it is not addressed properly, right? And now what was there? What are the reasons behind the coral bleaching? I have told you that when you can say corals become under stress, right? So they expel the zooxanthellae from their skeletons, right? And when they expel that algae, which makes food for them, so then that may starve, right? So then condition of starvation, right, starts. So now, right, they may lack food, right? They may lack oxygen, etc., etc., and that is the reason that leads to the loss of the corals, right? So you might you please note that, right? So everywhere, almost in the tropical regions, right, wherever the corals are found, right, there is the problem of the coral bleaching today, right? In India also, and Caribbean सी के आसपास जो इलाका है, राइट, वहाँ पे कोरल ब्लीचिंग का बहुत ज़्यादा है, राइट? You can say prevalence of the coral bleaching, that is very much high. And similarly, Australia का जो Great Barrier Reef है, right? So that is a structure which is visible from the moon also, right? So coral Great Barrier Reef of the Australia, right? So that is, we can say, right, that is, you can say, such a huge structure, right? Such a huge coral reef, right, which is visible from the moon as well, right? So zooxanthellae is basically algae. It is a species of algae. Okay, algae. Is it clear? Yes, yes, it is a species of algae. Please note it, right? So beta, this is there, right? So now it means yeah, it means what leads to, right? You can say this stress on the corals, right? So what causes stress on the corals? Because the University of Queensland published a report in the last years, right? In you can say previous years, right? And according to that report, approximately two-thirds of the corals, right, in that area of the Great Barrier Reef, right, those have died, right? So such a great, you can say uh, matter of concern is there that right, corals are depleting, coral reefs are depleting, we can say, right? So Caribbean Sea is also under stress. So आज आपने करना क्या है, घर जाना है, बाद में आपने गूगल करना है, घर तो आप बैठे ही हो, क्लास के बाद सॉरी आपने गूगल करना है, राइट? आपने देखना है कि राइट कोरल रीफ्स वर्ल्ड में कहाँ कहाँ है, राइट? मैप आ जाएगा इमेजेस में, आपने मैप देखना है कोरल रीफ कहाँ कहाँ है, राइट? एंड कोरल ब्लीचिंग की इंसिडेंस कहाँ कहाँ सबसे ज़्यादा है, राइट? वो आपने प्लीज़ देखना है, दैट इज योर असाइनमेंट. ओके, so I hope you will do that, right? So now, right, so now we are right, so now let us move further that what causes stress on corals, right? So what causes stress on corals, right? What causes stress on corals? So as far as the stress is concerned, what causes stress on corals? There is one, see, as I have told you that corals are very sensitive organisms, right? Corals are very sensitive organisms, right? Sensitive organisms, right? So that means organisms, right? So they can survive in a very narrow range of the ideal conditions, right? So they can survive in a narrow range, right, of conditions, right, which are considered ideal for their living, which are considered right? We can say ideal for their living. Okay, ideal for their living. So that's the point, right? So when there becomes any change in this condition, right? So that cause stress on the corals, right? So one is, so it means we can categorize it into two broad categories, right? So one category is, we can say, change in the change in ideal conditions, right? So one category we can say change in the conditions, right? Change in conditions, right? Beyond tolerance, right? One is that. One reason is that they become under stress, right? And number two, there can be some disease, right? Like infection, etc., etc. Right? So that is basically there, right? So now the point is there, right? So one important threat to the corals, or a stress causing factor, right? That is, we can say, one important factor is the global warming, right? Global warming, right? So there are two important effects of global warming, right? One effect is rise in sea level, rise in temperature, right? So one is a rise in temperature, right? And the second thing is, you can say, rise in sea level. These are the two important conditions, or sorry, two important, right? Uh, you can say results of the global warming, we can say, right? Two important results of the global warming, right? One is rise in temperature and second is rise in sea level, right? So when there will be rise in temperature, right? Because the corals can tolerate only a narrow range of temperature, which I told you, 23 to 29 degrees Celsius. If the temperature becomes below 18 degrees Celsius, they cannot survive. They cannot tolerate, particularly the reef building corals we are talking about here, right? So with the global warming, the sea level temperature, or the temperature of the sea is rising, right? Due to the rise in the temperature of the sea, the corals become under stress. One point is that, right? And the second is rise in sea level, right? So because due to the this you can say global warming, right? So one thing is that the precipitation का जो है वो change हो रहा है, right? At some places precipitation is very high, at some places precipitation is very low, right? And secondly, glacial melting, right? Glaciers are melting due to the global warming, right? So when the glaciers melt, the sea level rise, right? So if the sea level would rise, right, so then what will happen? The depth of the corals will increase, right? Means right, so if the depth of water, right, where the corals are present, right, if that depth increases, then what is there? The sunlight would be affected, right? If the sunlight becomes affected, the photosynthesis would be affected. If the photosynthesis is affected, the corals would become under stress, right? So one is this, that is the, we can say, that is the global warming, right, is one of the important reasons, we can say, behind this. Okay, so right, so the next important point is that we can say increasing frequency of storms, right? Increasing frequency of storms, right? Recently, I think you must have studied the one post which I did on our Telegram channel, right? That was about the cyclones. I think you may have studied that or not, I don't know, right? And there I mentioned that, right? Okay, you studied, okay. And there I mentioned that, right, in the we can say Arabian Sea, right? Arabian Sea, the frequency of the cyclones is increasing, right? The frequency of cyclones in pre-monsoon season, is increasing, right? Is increasing, right? So now what is there? You know that when the storms will occur, right? So storms would create a turbulence, right? Storms create turbulence, right? अगर storms turbulence create करेंगे, right? So then what will happen? राइट टर्बुलेंस क्रिएट होगा, कोरल्स डिस्टर्ब होंगे, एंड अगर कोरल्स डिस्टर्ब होंगे तो दे विल बिकम अंडर स्ट्रेस, एंड ड्यू टू द टर्बुलेंस समटाइम्स photosynthesis also got affected, right? So because what happens, right, you can say very thick and very you can say right, deep clouds are formed, right, during the such type of cyclonic conditions, right? And at that time the photosynthesis is obviously affected, right? And then also the corals become under stress. So turbulence and photosynthesis activity, right, that is affected. That is why the corals become under stress, right? And the third point is that, right, third point we can say that is the ocean acidification, right? Ocean acidification, right? As far as the ocean acidification is concerned, because of the rising level of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, right, rising level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, right, in atmosphere. This is clear, right? And now when this carbon dioxide is dissolved in the seawater, right, so then it makes an acid, right? So when this carbon dioxide is dissolved in water, right, so then what happens? The acidity of water increases, right? Acidity of water increases, right? And you know that corals don't tolerate the acidic conditions, so that is why that is also one reason of behind the stress, right, uh, on the corals, right? And the second is, you can say, uh, yes, beta, that occurs when the acid rain. Oh, very true. Any reason, right, due to which the acidity increases in the oceans, right? We can say that may affect the corals. No Dakshit, beta. So now the next point is, we can say, right, the next point is there. Okay, that is we can say the ozone depletion, right? Ozone depletion, right? So because the corals are very sensitive, right? So if the ozone layer will become thin, then what will happen? The ultraviolet radiation, right, will create stress on the corals, right? Right, with the thinness of ozone layer, right? The UV radiation, the increased, we can say, right? The increased ultraviolet radiation may create, right, creates stress on corals, right? Stress on corals. So that is also one of the points, right? Stress on corals. Okay, so ozone depletion is that is there, right? And the next point is that that is, you can say, right. So the next thing is that is the increased level of pollution, right? Increased level of pollution, right? So as far as the increased level of pollution is concerned, we see at many places, right, because of the due to the runoff. One thing is that, right, due to the runoff means river water when enters into the oceans, right, that brings lot of you can say pollutants into the ocean water, right? And similarly, the next is oil spills also, right? Oil spills also, right? There are a number of factors, right? So right, so dumping of so many things into the, we can say, ocean bodies, right? So that also affect this, right? So with increased sea level, sorry, with increased level of pollution, level of pollution, right, the penetration of light decreases, right? The penetration of light decreases, right? And with decrease in the penetration of light, the photosynthesis is affected, right? And with the effect of the photosynthesis, right, so corals become under stress, right? Corals become under stress, right? When the photosynthesis got affected, the corals become under stress, right? I hope clear to you. Okay, so corals become under stress in this condition, right? Increased level of pollution we have discussed, right? And the next thing is that that is, we can say, right, unsustainable, right? Unsustainable fishing activities, right? Unsustainable fishing activities. How? See, I have told you, right, that let's suppose, right, this is a, let's suppose this is a coral reef structure, right? Coral reef structure, right? So on this coral reef, right, so many types of algae, right, and other organisms develop, as I told you, right? Many type of algae and other type of organisms develop here, as I told you, right? And what is the what is the you can say function of the fish, right? So fish, you can say, right, eat such, right? Fish eat such algae, right, and other things, right? Whatever is there are there, right? Algae and other things, whatever are there, right? So, beta, if we do the overfishing, then what will happen? The fish population will decrease, right? If we do the overfishing, then what will happen? The fish population will decrease, right? And the fish population will decrease, right? And in the absence of the fish population, in the absence of, we can say, the fish population, right? What will happen, right? You can say, density of such algae, right, will increase. Density of such algae will increase, राइट उन चीज़ों की डेंसिटी बढ़ जाएगी जिनको फिश खाती हैं, राइट, विल इंक्रीज एंड दैट विल affect the photosynthesis, right? That will affect the photosynthesis and the corals will become under stress, right? Corals will become under stress. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so this is an important point. So that is why unsustainable fishing is also, right, you can say, threatening for the corals, right? So that is the point there, right? Apart from that, that is the habitat destruction, right? Because we are, you can say, interfering in the in their habitats as of now, right? So beta, that is why, right? Because once the coral reefs are destructed, right? So it take thousands or millions of years for the coral reefs to develop to that level, right? And now we are doing the coral mining also, right? And we are doing the construction activity also, coral collection also. So all these things are destructing the habitats of the corals, right? So due to the destruction of the coral habitats, you can say, right, the corals are under stress, right? And apart from that, there was, and you can say, infectious disease also, right, which affected the coral population a lot, right? There was an infectious disease, right? Disease and some other diseases also, right? You can say affect the coral population. Okay, affect the coral population, right? Affect the coral population a lot, right? So you can make a list of 2-3 important diseases of the coral from the Google, right? You can do Google for this purpose, right? So that is basically there, right? And now, the as far as the coral reef threats are there, we can say, right? So coral reef threats are in India also similarly, right? Because in India also the rivers are quite polluted, and that is why the pollution in the ocean bodies in the sea is also increasing. That is why, right? So if the ocean body pollution in the ocean bodies is rising, so then obviously that is also, you can say, right, a threat for the corals, right? So now this is the point here. Okay, so now the next important thing is that what are the various measures taken by the government of India, right, for the protection of the corals, right? So what are the various measures taken by the government of India for the protection of corals? Okay, for the protection of corals, right? अब तक गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने कोरल्स की प्रोटेक्शन के लिए कौन कौन से मेजर्स लिए हैं, या कौन कौन से स्टेप्स लिए हैं, या कौन कौन से स्टेप्स ले रही है गवर्नमेंट? सो दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, राइट? सो नाउ, right, what are the steps taken by the government of India for the protection of the corals, right? So one thing is that you can say, right, so government of India is taking two types of measures. One is the regulatory measures, and second is the you can say promotional measures, right? Regulatory measures, right? And second is the promotional measures, right? Promotional measures, we can say, which are taken by the government of India, right? So now what is there, right? So government of India has made coastal, right, coastal regulation zone notification, coastal regulation zone notification. One is this, sorry, notification, right? One is this, and the other is the island protection zone notification. Island protection zone notification, right? Under both these, island protection zone notification and coastal regulation zone notifications, right, corals are sought to be protected by the government, right? The government emphasizes on the protection of the corals, right? The government emphasizes on the protection of corals, right? On the protection of corals, right? So this is the one point that is to be noted here, right? All right. And how? By regulating the activities, right? By regulating the activities along the coasts, along the coasts, right? Along the coasts. So this is the one point, one measure we can say, right? So the next thing is that, right, the various laws, right? Various laws of the country in which we can say that that is the Indian Forest Act, right? One is the Indian Forest Act 1927, right? And the second law we can say the Forest Conservation Act 1980, the Forest Conservation Act 1980, right? And third is the Indian Fisheries Act, the Indian, we can say, Fisheries Act, right? So all these acts, right, are you can say cover the corals also, right? All these acts provide protection to corals also, or cover the corals also, right? Cover the corals also, right? So this is there, right? Cover the corals also, right? And apart from that, the government of India launched, you can say, an on to the next slide, right? The next is the Government of India. GOI means Government of India, right? Government of India launched an integrated coastal and launched an integrated coastal and marine area management, right? Marine area management, right? In 1998. In 1998, right? So that also aims at integrating the, right? So this also aims at integrating the management of coastal and marine areas, management of coastal and marine areas, we can say, right? Marine areas, right? And has proposed the model plans also, particularly for the Gulf of Kutch, right? Model plans also particularly for the Gulf of Kutch, right? So obviously in this also the right the corals have been considered, or the ecosystem of the corals have been considered, right? So apart from that, the government of India has also, right? The government of India has also corals form fossils. With the corals will not form the fossils, right? Okay. So now the government of India, we can say, right, has also, you can say, right, created mechanisms, such as, we can say, right, National Coastal Zone Management Authority, National Coastal Zone Management Authority, right? National Coastal Zone Management Authority and State Coastal Zone Management Authority. States have made that State Coastal Zone Management Authority. For the, you can say, protection of the corals in marine areas, for the protection of corals and marine areas. Okay, for the protection of corals and marine areas. So this has also been made there, right? So these are the various efforts which have been, right? So now under the coastal zone studies, the Ministry of Environmental, right? Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, right? Forest and Climate Change, right? We can say has included studies on coral reef, has included studies on coral reefs under the coastal zone studies, right? Under the coastal zone studies. So that is also one effort which has been done by the government, right? We can say, and apart from that, some other measures have been taken, right? So, but what needs to be done, right? One is that global warming efforts, right? You can say global warming mitigation efforts need to be speeded up, right? So this is, we can say, the advice, right? If you need to suggest the ways, right? If you are asked to suggest the ways, one is the global warming mitigation efforts need to be speeded up, because the corals are temperature sensitive animals, right? So if the temperature would keep on increasing, then yes, yes, conclusion, yes. So if the corals if the temperature keeps on increasing, then it would be difficult to save the corals, right? Despite other efforts. Okay. So one point is that, right? Because due to the global warming, the sea level is also rising. One is that, right? And second is the marine pollution should be tackled, right? Because pollution in rivers, marine pollution, right? And then the dumping of the things in the water, right? And marine debris, right? Oil spills, etc. whatever the things are there, right? So those needs to be, you can say, tackled, right, immediately, right? So that is an important thing, right? So, and the next thing is that it is required that the gap between the corals and the human beings, right, should be decreased as much as possible. Lot of awareness is required that what is their role in the human life, right? So how are they protective to us, right? How are they beneficial to us? So until and unless we don't know that, right, so we would not be actively involved in the various measures which are designed by the government for the protection of the corals, etc. So the sport of the general public, sport of the people, particularly those living in the coastal areas, right, particularly the fishermen, right, we can say. So that is more important, right? So that is more important, right? And similarly, for the, you can say, protection of the corals, right, or for the restoration of the corals, right, some other mechanisms, some technological measures should also needs to be developed, right? Like you can say there is one technology which is known as the biorock technology, right? So you please Google about this technology, right? You can learn about this biorock technology, right? Is the technology which has been developed for the restoration of the corals, right? जहाँ से कोरल लॉस्ट हो चुके हैं, राइट, उनकी रिस्टोरेशन के लिए बायोरैट फॉर restoration of corals, right? Of corals, biorock technology is there, right? Similarly, other technologies, right, should also be developed, which should be cost effective and all, right? And and then apart from that, right, you can say the you can say, right, the nutrient content, right, should also be you can say considered, right, so that that may not be compromised in any way, right? So quality of the water, the same thing which is there, right? So quality of water is important, right? So whatever the water we are discharging into the ocean bodies, into the seas, etc., right? So that quality of water should be taken care of, right? So otherwise this would not, right, if the more sewage will be there in that water, and more etc other things, right? So that is there, right? And apart from that, the tourism activities should be you can say, right, regulated, right? So that and there should be some, you can say, fees also, right, for the tourists, so that with the money collected, right, something for the protection of the corals may be done, right? And that is there, right? Protection fees can be there. And similarly, the fishing near the coral reef areas, right, should be regulated by the government, right? And there should be strict regulations, and those should be implemented also very carefully, right? So that is there, right? So these are the various important things which needs to be done, right? Otherwise the government has taken various measures, right? But until and unless, right, two three important things are not tackled. One is the emission of the carbon dioxide, because corals need low carbon concentration, right? One is that. And global warming, it is tackled, and pollution is tackled, right? Nothing can be done, right? And apart from that, the cooperation from the people, fishermen also, fishing activity is regulated and controlled, nothing is possible, right? And similarly, the destruction of the habitats of corals, until and unless that is not controlled, right, so nothing can happen. So the corals are quite important, right, we can say, creatures, right, very helpful to the human society also. And according to a study, that if the coral bleaching, right, you can say, uh, uh, is not checked, right, if no effective measures were taken to check the coral bleaching activity, so then by 2050, approximately 75% of the corals will be affected, right? We will lose 75% of the coral reefs in the world, right? So that is why this is a very, very, you can say, grave threat to the corals in the present scenario, that needs to be checked, right? So from this today's lecture, many questions regarding the prelims, and important question regarding the mains also can be asked, right? regarding the mains, the question can be about the coral bleaching, right, or threats to the coral, right? And then you can say there can be the various measures taken by the government of India and what are the various threats to the corals in India, right? And what can be done. So such type of questions can be there. So you please write, you can say, take it seriously, right? So revise this lecture and 2-3 things I have told you. You please check your atlas also, right? You can say atlas also, right? And you do Google also, right? For 2-3 things which are important, which I have told you, right? So anything else you want to ask, please tell me. Otherwise, the lecture from my end is complete.
सर एक्चुअली आई नीड टू आस्क सर कि वी आर फॉलोइंग दीज लेक्चर्स सर, वो मतलब सर टू द पॉइंट से क्लियर हो जा रहा है सर, लेकिन साथ में कोई बुक फॉलो करें, मतलब सर शंकर वाली बेकार है बिल्कुल बुक।
हाँ बेटा, शंकर वाली बुक में तो कुछ नहीं है, मैं आपको बता दूंगा 1-2 बुक्स। एक्चुअली ना क्या है कि एनवायरनमेंट के लिए कोई एडिक्वेट बुक ही नहीं है प्रॉपर।
या सर, या एग्जैक्टली सर।
हाँ, सो वो आपको बस मतलब इधर उधर से यू हैव टू पिक अप द पीसेस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन ना।
सर आपकी भी तो बुक आने वाली